and welcome to Greenock for the P1 Scottish Grand Prix of the Sea. For the first time in the history of P1 SuperStock, we find ourselves standing here on the banks of the Clyde as the races and teams have headed north into Scotland for the second stop on this year's championship. And what a backdrop. This is arguably one of the most spectacular stops that we're likely to see. Greenock sits right on the coast in the upper section of the Firth of Clyde, and it's an area that has seen growth in both its business and tourism sectors, thanks to great transport links, recreation facilities and the scenery that's all around. Perfectly suited then to host a round of the P1 SuperStock Championship, and with the Watt Marina just down the way, providing a base and support for the teams, the huge crowds that are expected this weekend surely won't be disappointed.
First of all, we think the P1 Championship is an amazing opportunity for Inverclyde. It brings in a spectacle in its own right. It has an international profile, which we think is extremely important for this part of the world to put ourselves on the map. It's also about showcasing our local businesses, particularly tourism-related businesses, and we think it's a fantastic opportunity.
It must be a spectacular event in itself to see all them boats racing, the jet skis, and we have a kind of purpose-built amphitheatre in the Esplanade where you can stand there, you can see it from a distance, a safe distance, and enjoy the whole ambience of the whole event.
So we're certainly all set for a great weekend's racing, but with 6 heats set across the 2 days, the teams are certainly going to have to think about looking after their engines and their boats if they want to make it all the way to the podium on Sunday night. But what of the championship so far? Well, at the opening round in Scarborough just a few short weekends ago, it certainly was a case of high drama on the high seas. Here's Shelley Jory-Lee with the story.
Thanks, Kev. Well, the start to the season in Scarborough was not for the faint-hearted. It was a baptism of water over the bows for the rookies. A combination of wind direction, high tides and waves delivered the roughest conditions we have ever seen. Due to safety grounds, unfortunately, it meant that all racing was cancelled on the Saturday. 24 hours on and the seas had calmed enough for 3 races to go ahead, but still with the prospect of plenty of airtime as the boats launched off the huge rollers. The teams that made the best of it were those that drove smart to preserve the life of their machinery to finish each race, with a steep learning curve for others on how far to push the P1 Panther in the rough North Sea.
With it being so rough, the frequency, the waves were so far apart, you couldn't get from one to the next. It was such a big trough, so it was an interesting challenge. It was a great weekend, but it was so close to being unbelievable. So that the little hiccup 50 yards from the finish line was frustrating, but it was still a great weekend.
After 3 gruelling races, it was Vim Burdock and John Donnelly on the top step of the podium. On equal points was Sam and Daisy Coleman, who came second on a countback. To come home third was Stuart and Sarah Curitan. These 3 experienced teams all showing a true understanding that to finish first you got to finish.
It was fantastic for myself and John. The boat was prepared, we worked on it over the winter. We were set to go, the boat was set to go. It was just finding that key element of a sponsorship. The sponsor came on board with us right at the last second, and we couldn't have asked for a better result.
Yeah, it was just about keeping a cool head. It was the first race of the season. There was a lot of people out to prove they were the thing. They were the best racer, and that really wasn't the race to do it in. It was just a case of sitting back, letting the boat do the work, wait for the right time, and just stick to a plan.
But it was mixed fortunes for some of the other teams. Our defending champion, Martin Robinson, who's in a new team this year, Pickford's IFX with Dave Toos Hobson, their season did not start as planned. It wasn't what Martin was hoping for.
I had a technicality with my licence, so I wasn't able to go out for the weekend, so no champion points for me. And then unluckily the boat lost its ECU, its engine control unit, so no points for us all weekend.
So you're obviously disappointed that you didn't get out there, but then for the team to get no points as well. I mean,
I was devastated for myself, but then even more so obviously for the effort the team had. You know, we managed to get a new nav in last minute. It was a sad day for the team, but we're bouncing back. Here we are in sunny Scotland, all to play for.
how did it go, Dino?
In Scarborough, it was fantastic for the first 8 or 10 minutes. Very, very choppy, big seas, boat ran really well, until of course everybody knows we lost the motor.
Any different tactics this weekend, which obviously were completely different conditions?
Totally different conditions, but it is very choppy out there as well, with the way the boats are running so close together. The circuit's very tight, so it is quite choppy out there as well. It's quite a difficult course to run.
Gordon, you're local to the area. This is hometown for you guys. The pressure's on. How do you feel?
Yes, the pressure's certainly on here, but we've got a really good big crowd with us, and we're hoping for a lot of local support, and lots of people cheering us on, so it should be fine.
So all eyes will be on the local Inverclyde boat with Dino and Gordon at the helm. And can defending champion Martin Robinson make up for lost time in Scarborough? Well, we haven't got long to find out, so let's head on out to the start line for race 1.
The first action of the day then, not too far away. The crew's getting ready to make their way onto the River Clyde. Big crowds here to watch this one in the glorious sunshine, estimated around 15,000 people. P1 taking off in a big way in Scotland. This is the course they'll be racing around. It's in an anti-clockwise direction, and there will be a pit lap. So the crew setting off then for the first ever P1 Scottish Grand Prix of the Sea. And conditions vastly different to those they experienced at the opening round in Scarborough. Here they go then. We're on board with E. Marine, Glyn Norval and Lee Norval. The Argyll Hills providing a stunning backdrop. And the calm waters of the River Clyde no longer calm. So number 13, Rawbank, Stewart and Sarah Curitan looking to carry on where they left off from the previous round. As we look back from Quantum Racing, John Donnelly and Kevin Burdock all sorting themselves out on this opening lap. Big crowd and a big entry as well for this race this weekend. It's all very close and all very tight. Everyone riding over waves and wakes at the moment. It looks as if it's Rawbank just ahead of Quantum Racing. They'll tuck in just ahead. Quantum Racing now moving out. They're trying to take the long way round this next turn, trying to stay out of the wake of Rawbank, but getting soaked for their efforts. Trying to keep the power up around the turn. Rawbank keeping it nice and tight. Stewart and Sarah Curitan really looking the part this season, somewhat veterans of this championship. Number 8 is E. Marine Racing, and somebody not going somewhere, and it's experienced Kissimmee bobbing around in the water. Neil and Jason Jackson bobbing around in the water. May well be that they may have just pulled the kill cord inside that boat. Battles all over the River Clyde right now. No wonder the spectators have flocked here in their numbers today. So Quantum Racing also went very well at Scarborough in the opening round. They had their moments, and they're looking to provide more as well. So too Pertemps Network, who are on their case. So it's a little bit spread out more now. Typhoo is who we're looking at, the 00 boat. Rawbank Racing though, the Curitans coming under pressure from number 9 Quantum Racing. They've gone for the inside line. They'll have to yield. Quantum should power through. They can keep the speed up, keep it trimmed nicely. And a change then for the lead. Quantum Racing ahead of Rawbank. So a cracking move from John Donnelly and Kevin Burdock. Keep an eye open too for Potemps Network. They're in the picture in third place, looking to take second from Rawbank if they can. That's Sam and Daisy Coleman. Rawbank trying to stay with Quantum, who keep the line nice and tight, do they? Rawbank now across their wake and trying to go up the inside and grab the inside line and try and do to Quantum what Quantum did to them. Quantum will get to the next buoy just ahead.
Dino Zavaroni and Gordon Wicklow in the Inverclyde outfit still going strong.
Quantum Racing, though, look as if they will take the first victory here this weekend at the P1 Scottish Grand Prix of the Sea. They look the part in first position right now, looking back to see if Rawbank or Potemps Network are in the picture, and they're not. Not close enough. Quantum Racing take the checkered flag and the first victory in Scotland this weekend. Great performance from them. Rawbank will have to settle for second. So looking at the result for the first race in Scotland, and it's as you were really, it's the same teams as from Scarborough who are setting the targets for everyone else to chase.
So John, one down, and it's a fantastic start for you.
Yeah, it was a great race. Stuart was, we seemed to be within a 0.1 of a mile an hour of each other, and it was a great battle. We just had a really, really good pit lap and managed to carry the speed there and just pip him at the last minute.
So that's the first one of the weekend done, and how about that result for John and Vin in Quantum Racing, starting out the weekend here in Scotland, where they finished it off in Scarborough, first past the post. More to come though after the break, 2 more great races. We'll see you then. Welcome back to Greenock, where we're one race into our first ever Scottish Grand Prix of the Sea. And as you can see, well, the sun is shining and there's plenty to keep the fans occupied up here as part of the Inverclyde Showcase. There are over 50 local businesses on display, including boats of all shapes and sizes. But the boats that we're concerned with are right back out there on the start line. So let's go join your race commentator, Dave Moore, for race 2.
Quantum Racing make it 2 wins out of 2 so far this weekend. Or can the likes of the Spirit of Inverclyde spoil that sequence? It's the second race of the P1 Scottish Grand Prix of the Sea underway. Green flag goes up. Kissimmee are off to a flyer. The woes of the first race are behind them. E-Marine looking at Pickfords now. Everyone looking to get to the first buoy first. David Seuss Hobson with Martin Robinson alongside him. So away they go then, ripping across the surface of the River Clyde. The Thames Network, Sam and Daisy Coleman, race winners in the opening round at Scarborough, looking for more success here on the River Clyde, the P1 Scottish Grand Prix of the Sea, and they've made a stunning start. It looks like they'll lead. So, the Thames Network, Sam and Daisy Coleman, just ahead of Kissimmee. Kissimmee getting tossed around in the wake as we go on board with Neil and Jason Jackson. Looks like they've got into second place then, cracking start from them. Kissimmee trying to go up the inside of Potemps Network as they come to this left-hand turn. As they go parallel with the Esplanade. Looking back from the race leaders. Oh, it's E-Marine Racing that's bobbing about at the back of the picture. Race 1 winners Quantum, not off to the best of starts this time. They've got Rawbank Racing just to their left. Slot in just ahead. Rawbank crossing their wake. Trying to look for clear water. There's not much about at the moment. as Kissimmee go backwards. So Quantum up into second, but it's a distant second from the race leaders, Potemps Network. Cracking battle for second place. Rawbank Racing, I think, are going to go third by the looks of things. Drawing up alongside. Trying to find the flattest surface that they can. Experienced Kissimmee disappointed with how things went in the opening race. So second place, Quantum Racing. Oh, lovely move from them. Just slid the back end around the buoy, around the turn. Trying to keep the power on, trying to chase down the race leaders, Potemps Network. We're looking at the race leaders, Sam and Daisy Coleman. Look how quick they are across the surface. They've got that P1 Panther trimmed very, very well. Total contrast in conditions. Kissimmee having a little bit of a reminder there of Scarborough as they go through the wake, but it is nothing like the opening round in the northeast of England. Rawbank Racing still in fourth place. Stuart and Sarah Curitan. Very experienced outfit. Husband and wife team been racing for a very long time. So they're through to third place. Can they make any inroads on Potemps Network or Quantum? They're leaving Kissimmee behind. And that's who we're on board with once more, looking up ahead. Further back down the order. Inverclyde. Side by side with E-Marine. So here come Potemps Network then. The checkered flag is being readied and prepared and will be waved at Sam and Daisy Coleman. They won in Scarborough. They're going to win here in Greenock as well. They take the victory. Second place for Quantum Racing. So 2 races, 2 different winners. So race 2, and it's the same top 3 this time, however, in a different order, with Rawbank third, second goes to Quantum, Potemps Network in top spot this time.
Well, another exciting race done here in Greenock under glorious sunshine. And how about the result? Potemps and Quantum flipping positions this time. Potemps this time first past the post. One still to go here though, so let's head straight out to the start line and join Dave Moore.
So the third and final race of the day, the opening day that is, of the P1 Scottish Grand Prix of the Sea is underway. Potemps Network off to a flyer again. They've got the taste of victory in their mouths, already screaming ahead of the rest of the field. Quantum are trying to keep with them, so too Quantum Racing. But Potemps Network, great line from them. So they come round to go past the throng spectators. Oh, it's close, and there's contact, and boats are over. The boat's gone over. That will be a red flag. So the race comes to a very premature stop. Already the crew's quickly out to the stricken craft. So the second time I'm asking then, we've got a restart for the final race of the weekend. Stuart and Sarah Curitan both perfectly okay. Potemps Network on the case again. Good start from Inverclyde this time. But Potemps Network looking to get into the lead. Sam Coleman at the controls, Daisy Coleman barking the instructions. Pickford's in there as well, Inverclyde. The home crew, of course, looking really good this time. Typhoon just a little bit sluggish around the turn. Pickford's racing, we've not really seen them so far today. They're ahead of Kissimmee, who went very well in the second race, of course, but Pickford's racing on their way. Inverclyde, also a good start from them. So Perseps Network are looking very good for their second win of the day. Here comes Pickford's. Spirits Kissimmee just behind. Well, it's the strongest showing we've seen so far today from Pickford's Racing. This is much better from them. Spirits Kissimmee coming into the picture. Pickford's in the back of the picture though. They are coming off their long lap. This is only their second ever round of the P1 SuperStock Championship. So they had their problems in race 1, looked good in race 2, and now they're going for second place. But Pickford's really on the case, really on the power. They're still in third place. Perseps Network then will make it 2 wins on the bounce. Sam and Daisy Coleman, another triumph for them. Their second win at the P1 Scottish Grand Prix of the Sea. Great performance from them. So the final set of results for the opening day of the P1 Scottish Grand Prix of the Sea. Pickford's racing in third, behind Experience Kissimmee. Perseps Network, they make it a double.
So Sam, huge congratulations, you've just won the day, and I think the mayor, what's he done? Is he giving you the keys to the city there?
Yeah, he presented me with his chain, which was great, and now apparently we can drive sheep through the city, so it's brilliant. So we're going to have a good night tonight.
Well, never mind driving sheep through the city, you drove your boat brilliantly. You must be thrilled as you've got one day still to go.
It's a good start to the weekend. It's once again, it's more than we could have asked for. Glad that Stuart and Sarah are okay after the little incident in race 3. We got away again well in the restart and managed to keep it clean and bring home a couple of wins, so it was great.
Yeah, we chuffed to bits. I mean, we honestly didn't, it's too flat for our liking. We usually like it with a little bit rougher, so we were a bit not too sure what we're going to be, and we're just absolutely elated. It's fantastic.
Well, at the end of the first great day's racing here in Greenock, it's Sam and Daisy in Perseps Network who are the overnight leaders, taking the award there of the Mayor's Chains. But tomorrow's another day and there are still 3 more races to go. So join us after the break as we continue the 2016 P1 Grand Prix of the Sea. Welcome back to Greenock as we continue the action in the inaugural Scottish Grand Prix of the Sea. And Shelley, we've already had 3 races, there are 3 more to go, and here we are now standing in the soaking rain. What a difference a day makes.
Oh, I mean, the weather yesterday was absolutely fantastic, beautiful conditions on the race course. But today, as far as the race is concerned, the rain isn't going to stop them, they'll carry on. I think they've got a little bit of problem with visibility. That's going to be the sort of the game changer today.
You've got to be able to see for 1 nautical mile, is it, from the...
Yes, the racers need to see for 1 nautical mile, so they need to see from their start run to their first mark, but also the safety officers, the officer of the day, they all need to be able to pick up binoculars or see the other side of the course. I mean, all down to safety grounds. Mentioning
the safety officers there, they had a busy day yesterday. We saw Rawbank Racing go over.
Yeah, very, very sad for Rawbank. Stuart and Sarah, Curitan, husband and wife team, both okay, battered and bruised, but they're okay. That's what happens in those kind of conditions. The racers are just gunning it. Everything is being pushed to the limit, running, and they're trimming them in. And it's those kind of incidents that we do see on the flat, fast, furious days.
And making the best of the fast, flat conditions were Perseps, but Quantum Racing weren't that far behind. They were flip-flopping in the results. Fantastic battle between those two. I mean, I think we've got a top 3 boats at the moment, haven't we? We've got Perseps, Rawbank, Quantum Racing. They are absolutely gunning it, all of them. It's going to be a great season. They're certainly being put through their paces this year, for sure. Yeah, they certainly are, and they will be today. So let's go and see what they've got to say this morning. So Neil, great to see you this morning. Getting set to go for the first of 3 races today, and it looks pretty misty and foggy out there. What are you thinking?
Yeah, a little bit nervous today because we had quite a good run yesterday. We were quite pleased. Not so good first race, but we've sorted that, we hope. And then we got some good results, obviously at the demise of others, but hey, that's racing. Want to get the first one out of the way, settle down. Visibility could be an issue. Hopefully it won't be, and we can get all 3 races in because we are here to get the points and move on.
And obviously you're racing the Kissimmee, Florida boat, but how are you enjoying the Scottish weather up here in Greenock?
Oh, I mean, I have to say it's been brilliant. I quite expected icebergs coming through the start line, but no, it's not so bad. And the venue's great as well. I mean, they've been fantastic help, the marina. It's split venue, which is always difficult in the sport, but the facility's outstanding.
So morning, Dave. The fun often happens on the first corner or the first couple of corners because it's quite a tight hairpin, really, isn't it?
It's a tight first, second corner, yeah. It turns two corners into one big long sweeping corner. All the boats are together and inevitably you've got ducking and diving and where you're going to go. And it was unfortunate that the guys had a bit of a coming together yesterday. Everybody wants to be first coming out of that corner and we're all giving it a go, so that's racing.
Your new navigator in the boat this year is Martin. Obviously, he didn't get a run out in Scarborough. You must be thrilled that he's getting a go this weekend.
It's good to get the old boy out. Yeah, it's quite different and fun because for the last 10 years I've had my wife Kirsty navving for me, and you get used to your little foibles, and so Martin's learning how to love me lots at the moment.
So this is it then, it is time to go racing, and sadly even the arrival of the Caribbean Princess behind me wasn't enough to encourage the sunshine here in Greenock to come out. Misty, damp conditions for the teams then. Let's head on out to the start line and join your race commentator, Dave Moore.
So huge contrast to Saturday's sunshine then. After the heavens opened and the mist descending down upon the River Clyde. Well, it is reduced visibility, but Daisy Coleman having to stand up there. I don't think she'll be able to continue that stance throughout the race. It's the same course as they competed on yesterday. Waiting for the green flag. Eyes left looking to see what's going on. Spirit of Clyde, Dino Zavaroni and Gordon Wicklow providing the pictures. And we're away. Experienced Kissimmee, second overall on the opening day of the P1 SuperStock Championship. Totally different weather conditions to those that they experienced yesterday. The beautiful Argyle Hills in the background, now covered in mist. The Thames Network just in behind Quantum Racing. So Quantum Racing on the march. Spirit of Inverclyde as well, looking good this time. They're just ahead of Pickford's. So too Thames Network. They are fully up to speed now. And it looks as if they may have just moved into first place. We'll have to wait to have that confirmed till they come back into view. So Spirit of Inverclyde, Dino Zavaroni and Gordon Wicklow. Again, delighting the home support. Back in fourth place at this moment in time. Tucked in behind Pickford to a third. Daisy Coleman will be happy if she keeps looking around all the time because she knows that she'll be keeping an eye on who's behind her and not having to look on what's going on in front. Quantum Racing, Kevin Burdock and John Donnelly. Still with the slight advantage over Thames Network. Then into third place still it's Pickford's. Spirit of Inverclyde back in fourth. Contrasting weather then, although it's still not too rough out there. It's still fairly flat on the River Clyde as Quantum just get their nose up into the air momentarily. The Thames Network trying everything they can to reel in the race leaders, trying to keep it nice and tight into this left-hand turn, but also trying to keep the speed up as well if they can. Back on the power again on the out of the turn. Now South Street looking strong this time. They go up the inside of the Spirit of Inverclyde. Inverclyde unfortunately losing positions now. Experienced Kissimmee going through, going past Inverclyde, trying to hit back though if they can. Trying to draw up alongside. Quantum Racing looking for their second victory of the weekend, and look at the gap that they've got over P1 Network. And then look at this battle for third place. Pickford's Racing still in there. But experienced Kissimmee have the rostrum position at this moment in time. And that is what's happened to Pickford's. They've come to a halt. So P1 Network signalling, acknowledging that the stricken Pickford's vote is there. So a shame for Pickford's, they were going so well. Meanwhile, here comes Quantum Racing. They are the race leaders. The P1 Network still in second position, still hoping to reel in Quantum if they can. If not, it's still very good points for them in their quest for the P1 SuperStock Championship. Oh, hands up from Quantum Racing. The reason is there's a red flag. It's out of shot. The red flag is out. So everyone having to come to a halt. Fingers crossed that the conditions improve and that they can complete the SuperStock programme today.
As the marine leisure capital of Scotland, this area is well accustomed to water sports activities of all kinds. And the same can be said of a P1 race weekend, with round 2 of the Aquacross Championship forming part of the busy schedule.
I'm glad we're here, very excited about it. And Aquacross, what more can I say? At the end of the day, it's a sport where anyone can be involved at any level, whether you're pro, amateur, or just coming into the sport. You've got a recreational boat you want to use. So it's abilities at every single level. So yeah, it's a good sport to start. The battle from last year to this year seems to be continuing with Phil Pope. Obviously, he's the fastest and the most competent rider out there, really, most professional rider. But we're all trying to emulate his abilities.
I'm trying my best. I'm the 300 class with all other guys. I have this new boat, 300. It's doing really well, but it's like my second time in the season, so hoping to improve, but yeah, enjoying it.
In the Aquacross 300 class, Phil Pope continued his dominance from round 1 to land the spoils in the only race of the first day in Greenock. He came out on top in a great battle with Russell Marmon. Richard Rowe was spectacular in the 250 class, racking up 3 wins from 3 races over the weekend. Paul Hanley pipped Duncan Johnson to victory in the 200 class by just 1 point. Phil Pope put in another flawless display to make it 2 wins out of 2. He completed a hat-trick of wins in the final race of the weekend to extend his lead atop the Aquacross Championship standings. So Gosport awaits next for the Aquacross races.
Well, great to see the Aquacross going from strength to strength. Join us after the break, though, when we come back with more P1 SuperStock action, and we'll crown the overall champion of the Scottish Grand Prix of the Sea. Welcome back to Greenock and the P1 Scottish Grand Prix of the Sea, where it is still all to play for as we head towards the podiums and the culmination of the weekend. All eyes will be on P1 and Quantum Racing. Let's head out to the start line for the next one then, with your race commentator, Dave Moore.
So Dino Zavaroni and Gordon Wicklow getting ready for the final race of the day at their home event, the P1 Scottish Grand Prix of the Sea. Visibility appears to have improved a little bit, perhaps, as the final race of the weekend on the River Clyde gets underway. The Thames Network just need a finish in this race to take the overall weekend victory, but of course they'll be looking for championship points. Here we go, we're away. The Thames Network looking to fire themselves into the lead if they can. There they are, they're nudging themselves into second place. Sam and Daisy Coleman are going for it. They want the overall victory and the 20 championship points on offer, and already they're through. They are passing South Street. So South Street look as if they could be second into this first turn. The Thames Network leading. Keeping the power on. So, the Thames Network from South Street. Then it's all very tight between the rest of the crews. There's some bumping and barging without making contact going on between Inverclyde, Kissimmee and Quantum Racing. Quantum going into third, Inverclyde into fourth and Kissimmee into fifth. I think we may have saved the best battle till the last race, and Quantum going through into second place. We're looking at Inverclyde in fourth. They would dearly love to finish in the top three, at least in this final race of the day. Rocking and weaving left to right.
Higher race to pick up those points. There used to be a system of 75%.
So Taifu,
70%, and
it's not really been their weekend here in Scotland. Game on out in front. The Thames Network still setting the pace. South Street are still there. And here comes Quantum Racing. E-Marine also in the picture as well. So to Inverclyde, who look as if they may have dropped back a position or two. The Thames Network, though, still roaring away out in front. E-Marine ahead of Kissimmee. Not seen too much of E-Marine Racing this weekend. Riding again with the Jacksons. So can anybody pull anything together and reel in the race leaders? They all seem to be squabbling with themselves right now, which is doing for Thames Network a power of good. Experienced Kissimmee, second overall yesterday. Would love to get another big set of points here today. Oh, it's tight as they go around the turn. Quantum Racing just chucking up water over South Street. I think South Street really couldn't see too well where they were going then, but they managed the situation very well, very professionally. Trying to keep up as much speed around those turns as they can. So we're looking at the top three, Thames Network, Quantum Racing and South Street. Experienced Kissimmee still looking to break into the top three if they can. Inverclyde really ripping across the seafront, and they're ahead of E-Marine Racing at this moment in time. I think Dino Zavaroni and Gordon Wicklow, although they may be a little bit disappointed they haven't been higher up the leaderboard this weekend, I think they'll be very proud with the performance that they've put on. Still a long way to go in this race, of course. Experienced Kissimmee trying to keep their nose down as flat as they can. E-Marine Racing looking very slick. It looks like being another cracking weekend for Sam and Daisy Coleman. The Thames Network boat was past champions in the hands of John Wilson, who no longer races in P1. But Sam and Daisy Coleman, well, they're looking very good, and this has to make them favourites for the remainder of the season, though. Quantum Racing in second place. They've had a couple of wins this weekend. Brother and sister, Sam and Daisy. totally focused. Sam just keeping his eyes on what's happening up ahead. I don't think either of them have blinked yet. Daisy Coleman will be letting her brother Sam know exactly what's going on around, offering advice. Same will be going on board with Quantum as they try to bridge the gap to the race leaders. Spirit of Inverclyde still going at a fair lick. So for Thames Network, around the buoy. Quantum Racing still chasing hard as well. Experienced Kissimmee. That's who we ride with. They've had a fairly strong weekend and will be looking to carry that form on into the next round. South Street and Inverclyde drawing closer to one another like a pair of magnets. They can't get too close. Both looking to get their nose in front as they go to the next turn. Boy, this is close. South Street just edging ahead. Inverclyde perhaps just holding off. South Street holding their nerve. So South Street just ahead of Spirit of Inverclyde. But Inverclyde look as if they're fighting back. No such concerns for our race leaders for Thames Network, Sam and Daisy Coleman. So, not far to go then for Thames Network. Meanwhile, Inverclyde are fighting back with South Street. Again, they're drawing close to one another. Inverclyde need, because they're on where they are on the track, they just need to hold their position to get through. Here comes Thames Network. They will take another checkered flag here at Scotland and the overall win. Stunning performance from them. Quantum Racing in second. What a great P1 Scottish Grand Prix of the Sea. So our final race leaderboard of the P1 Scottish Grand Prix of the Sea. Spirit of Inverclyde taking third ahead of Kissimmee. Quantum Racing second, and Thames in the #1 position. It looks going into the next round, and it's advantage for Thames Network. A healthy lead. Experienced Kissimmee second, just ahead of Quantum Racing and Spirit of Inverclyde.
We just can't believe it. We are overwhelmed. I mean, we did well in Scarborough when it was rough, so we were like, okay, so we're doing all right in Scarborough, but we came into this weekend, no idea what we're going to be like in the flat, and fair play to Sammy. He's had some shoes to fill, and John will be really proud of him. We're all really proud of him. He's done amazing.
It looks like you guys in Quantum are going to be sort of giving us some good battles throughout the season, Sam.
Yeah, it was really good racing close with them, like I say. We didn't expect to be so close to them on this water. We prefer it when it's a little bit rougher. A boat is a really solid boat in the rough. But it was running like a dream today, and we could actually give them a run for their money in their water, which was brilliant, really good.
Stunning, stunning weather yesterday. Just changed a little bit today. As for the racing, it's hard racing yesterday. As you know, myself and John won the first race. And had a slight incident in the third race. That's racing.
And John, you were able to get the boat patched up overnight to get it running well enough to do the business again today.
Yeah, I mean we just flattened everything off on the bottom and managed to pull a couple of good results today. And yeah, despite the weather.
So there you go, the end of a day's racing here in Greenock. We had to shorten the schedule. We were supposed to do 3 races. We managed to get about 1.5 in. That's racing, Shelley. When the visibility's not playing ball, when the weather's not playing ball, safety first, and you just got to make the best of it.
It's been a real hard challenge for everyone today. Organisers, racers, spectators. I mean, they've been so supportive in the weather. But the racers have done a fantastic job out there. Great course, great racing, and I think everyone's loved it.
Yeah, fast, flat racing, and of course it was Thames Network who won the day overall. From here, though, we are heading way south for the next round. We're going down to Gosport. The excitement will be the same. The racing, hopefully, will be just as good, if not better, and we'd love it if you could join us there. From all of us here, though, north of the border in Greenock, see ya.